So that's a specific, the abortion topic, you know. But what I like to do when I think about things that exist, I am talking about America, by the way, and on the world to a degree, you know what I mean? Like in most places, the patriarchy has a pretty strong, firm grip on like the population. So it's a lot of the same shit that we're all dealing with, which is just pure misogyny and the concept of people not being able to have their own individualistic thought and freedoms. And that's important. So I just want you to be aware, and I want you to be mindful when you're presented with all of the rhetoric about who should be president or who should be what or whatever, like who should be voted in places. I want you to do your research. I want you to participate. I want you to, because like I said, it's conflict resolution. It's the now. It is what is. It is what is around. And if we continue to divest from it, which I understand, but also we don't have time for that. Okay? It's moving too fast. It's moving too fast for us to not care. But either way, whatever happens with politically speaking, I want us to really talk to ourselves in our own lives, in our own communities, in our own families, in our own friend groups, in our own circles of humans. Like, talk to each other and like get into the nitty-gritty of why shit is the way it is around you guys. Like, we need to heal collective. We need to heal. We need to heal some shit. Like, there's some very weird. So hold on. Someone just sent me such an interesting message. Someone says, "You are an unusual girl. I wish you every success and happiness, and that you never lack faith, because you have become an incredible woman. Congratulations." I am an unusual woman. I am an unusual woman. That is so funny to me. All right, I'm gonna get into some lighter topics because clearly I was on one yesterday and I was ready to go hard, but today I feel the same but different. You know what I mean? Oh, I also have to do laundry, but I can do that after. I'm so sorry. That was an intrusive thought and it just came out. Okay, so what else can we do? I'm gonna play you guys. Should I play y'all some music? Should we dance together? Now that I've done a sermon for no reason. It's not for no reason, damn it. This world is fucked. Shit is fucked. And we can't just all be like, oh man, it's so fucked. And I'll just like make the craziest meme about the craziest trauma. Like, who gets the most likes and who's gonna like guys, no, we need to let each other grow. We need to. We cannot afford for people to stay stagnant and low vibrational, bitch. Like, people need to level up. And they can't do that if we're like, yeah, but you suck. And you sucked so hard when you were 13. You know, like, we all sucked at one point in our lives when we didn't know better. And anyone saying that they didn't is lying. And if you had a camera on you at all times, bitch, I think you would be surprised. That was something, oh my God, okay, wait. Okay, let's get into it. The Ultimatum. Queer edition. First of all, thank you for making a queer reality dating show, because obviously that was necessary at some point or another, and it was just as spicy as I thought it would be, really, truly, honestly. Wait, what was the connection point? I had a fucking connection point. I swear to God. What was it? What was my point? Oh, that these ladies went on the show having a very particular idea of who they were as people, and then they saw what played out back to themselves at the reunion. And I know, as someone who was on a reality TV show situation, I understand what my deepest, I could never, when I saw the premise of that show, I was like, bitch, I'm gonna watch, because what in the mess of a mess of a mess is this? Like, what the fuck premise? Who comes up with the premise of, okay, so I really want to marry this bitch, which, by the way, like, lesbians, like, I love us, but U-Haul is a real thing. So for real, it is what it is. But the fact that they took these girls, or these women, or these folks who literally were like, I want to marry this person. I'm coming on this show because I want to marry this person. And if this person doesn't say yes right now, it's over. And like 6 other people did that too. Same choice. And then they all came on to the same place to live with each other's spouses. Proposed spouses. To see if that would maybe change some shit up about how they felt. Like the mess that you are asking for. You are asking for it. Damn it. You put a bunch of gays in a room and you told them, listen, some of you want to get married, some of you don't. We're going to pair you up. See if you guys have chemistry. And then we're going to put it all on camera. Obviously, some bitches fell in love. However, this might be a controversial topic, and I don't mean to be a bitch. Are we ready? I don't mean to be a bitch. I'm going to tell you how I felt about the characters. The characters. See, these aren't characters. This is my issue with this. It's like, I'm going to talk about them like I know these girls in advance. I don't know any of you folks, and you are all beautiful, brilliant, individually bomb people. Let me just preface with that, because I don't want anybody to be like, oh my God, in the back end. But what I will say from watching that show, my Latinas, I love us, but we need therapy. We as a collective unit of beings, we need some conflict resolution classes. We need some people-pleasing deprogrammings, and we need some clear communicating without passive aggression classes. And I get it. Mira, yo entiendo porque yo vengo de la misma cosa. Es lo que tú tienes que entender. I come from the same shit. So I understand you. Y tenemos tantas mujeres en nuestra línea que we're our first bullies in our own community. Like, we really are our first bullies and our biggest haters, bro. Like, and I felt like there was a lot of a lack of emotional intelligence in the way a lot of shit was handled on that show by some of these girls. And I will say, these women, excuse me, because they're not girls, they're grown. But I will say, it made for good content. It made for good content. It did. I'm not mad. You did your thing, babies. You worked it. But, coño, I was a little bit like, Mildred. Mama. I honestly, some people were like, oh, I felt like you probably hate Tiff. I'm like, I really don't hate Tiff. You know what I think about Tiff? I'm talking about my Latinas right now. I feel like Tiff has a good heart. Like, really genuinely has a good heart. Also comes from a Latin household. So again, the communication thing is a very real thing. So I'm not gonna even knock that shit. The communication skills, not there. Anxious attachment, very much real. Codependency, people pleasing, I saw it everywhere. But Tiff particularly, I felt so bad because during the reunion, Mildred let her have it. Like, said so much shit that she didn't need to say. And if you've ever like been with somebody like that, like where someone, how can I say this? They don't know how to, oh my God. Someone who throws shit in your face, back in your face and back in your face, and also makes shit up. So you're confused. So you get gaslit. And like that whole process of getting gaslit in front of people on camera, giving you a panic attack, I understand. Like, cause I've had panic attacks in my own time, like not on camera because of being gaslit. So I understand. And it's also, that's what happened to Ozzy too. Ozzy's avoidant as fuck. Don't get me wrong. Cause also in their relationship with Sam, hella avoidant. But I also respect how Sam and Ozzy are able to be like, Sam, I love Sam. I love Sam. Sam is so cute. She's so sweet. She's so pure. She's good people. I can feel it. I don't know these bitches, but but Sam feels really sweet. She's like very conflict resolution oriented, a really good communicator. And she was able to really understand like what was going on. And so the thing with Sam and Ozzy is that Sam understands that Ozzy's avoidant, and Ozzy understands that Sam is anxious attachment. So they work with each other to get to a point of healthy attachment. I don't really fuck with Ozzy that much, like as far as the way that they like show up in context, because they're hella avoidant, and I feel like Sam deserves better. But that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like they've known each other way longer than I know either one of those folks. So do you, be happy. I love that. I also like the dynamic of how they give space to each other. They give each other space to be who they are. So like, you know, Sam was like, okay, Ozzy's avoidant, so I gotta make space for some time for them to figure things out before they come to me to speak. And that's valid. And same with, you know, with Sam, Ozzy has to be like, okay, well, I can't take as much time as I'm gonna take to process, because I'm actually being avoidant. I'm not just processing. I'm just scared of a conversation. I'm scared of conflict. I'm scared of being judged. I'm scared of being told that I'm wrong, being told that I'm bad. Because that binary, see, all of this stuff connects back to the systems. I'm telling you, because I'm ranting, but because that's what Ozzy grew up with in her household, was people telling her she couldn't be who she was, and like telling her what to do and who to be. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that happening all the time, it's hard for you to show up in relationships where people are trying to tell you about yourself and how you show up, because it just feels like a trigger, immediate trigger. You're just like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't feel like comfortable discussing my character flaws. You know what I mean? Especially not with someone who I love and who I really want to love me and see me in my best light. Because that's another thing that we don't understand, is that in that quest to be the best version of ourselves for a partner, we end up losing ourselves and not even being able to show up all the way, because we're trying to perform instead of trying to actually connect. Because connection requires communication. Connection requires being so raw dog honest with yourself and with your partner. And it's hard. It's not easy to do that. And also it's not received very well by a lot of people. As someone who's very honest, not a lot of people receive that well. Not a lot of people like to be spoken to like that. And I also had a crazy people pleaser complex, so I know it when I see it. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to another couple. Next couple that I loved. In the moment, I loved Lexi and Ray. I found out, I tweeted, I loved it while I was watching the reunion, so I was like halfway through. And by the way, please, if you are watching it still, like, don't listen to me, because I'm giving you mad spoilers. I don't give a fuck. But someone said this is not a rant, this is a life lesson. Okay, thank you for seeing the genius in what I do. Okay, so next couple. Oh, I never really gave my thoughts on Tiff and Mildred though. So I feel like Mildred just be gaslighting people. I feel like Mildred has zero emotional intelligence. Well, maybe like 20%. And like conflict resolution skills. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much about how she feels and what she wants. And while that's valid, there's other people involved in a relationship, and you have to be aware of somebody's feelings, and you have to be aware of how you speak to somebody, and like the way you present an issue is is vital, like, in order to really communicate with somebody. Just because you're pissed doesn't mean you can make everybody feel how pissed you are. I used to think that's a big thing in our households growing up, I think, is like projection and the way that anger is released or transmitted or projected onto people around you, especially those that you love the most. That's kind of like that's a core value, I think, sometimes, is like, oh, this person is the closest to me, so they have to take my energy. They have to take how pissed I am and just deal with it, you know? And really, that's not the case. A lot of the times, we've grown up in an environment where we feel like it's me versus you, and there is a problem, versus it's me and you versus this problem that's coming up. And in trying to be so combative and defensive, a lot of the time, it comes from a place of hurt. It comes from a place of wanting to be seen and loved, and I respect that, you know? But the way that it's communicated is just violent. It's just abusive, you know? Like, it's not, and not like on some like, oh, I think it's abusive. Like, I think it's emotionally abusive. And it's not like done with intention to be that. It's just a product of the way we're raised. Because that's also something that she said. She was like, to Ozzy at one point, she was like, oh, like, I'm Latina, like, this is how we talk. And I'm like, to an extent, yes. But as a Latina who, like, this is just how I talk. I lost some people in my life because I thought I could just whatever I was feeling on them, you know? And that's not always the case, you know? Sometimes you really have to step back, breathe, walk away from something, allow somebody to be in their own space, give yourself the time to process something before you can communicate about something clearly. Because a lot of the time when the emotion is running through you, you say things you don't fucking mean, and you're mean, and you mean. We can be mean when we're in that triggered state, you know? And if you had any kind of childhood where you were silenced and you weren't able to really communicate your true feelings, then when you get into a romantic relationship as an adult and you never had those kind of tools given to you about how to self-regulate, you believe that it's your right to be heard and it's valid. She was also abandoned by her parents. Yeah, that's a huge thing. You get abandoned by your parents, you think there's something wrong with you. So the second that there's any inkling that, or change in energy even, like, and the thing with her and Tiff was that had been going on for years. So at that point, they're so far into their, like, abuse cycle that, like, that what happened at the reunion happens, where she's just regurgitating all of the bad things and making up some things too, like, just to, like, trash Tiff's character. Because, like, sometimes when you get to that point, before someone can make you look bad, you want to make somebody else look bad so that, like, you can deflect. Because she was at the end of her rant about all the shit that Tiff did, even though a lot of it Tiff really didn't do, she literally was like, you know, I also got arrested. I will apologize to accountability that I got arrested because I threw a goddamn dog gate at this bitch. And it was heavy. And it hurt her. I was like, bitch, what? Like, you threw some shit at this bitch, and, like, you're trying to, like, sit here and say all of this stuff about how fucked up this girl is. Like, you need to leave her alone. So anyways, I'm glad Tiff left. I honestly respect the fuck out of Tiff leaving that situation, and I hope that her and Mildred do not get back together, and that Tiff grows from this experience and understands that she deserves something more solid than that. And I think Tiff was in love with Mildred the whole time, and that's why she didn't really try in her relationship with Sam. I feel like Sam taught Tiff a lot though, and Sam was such a nurturing being, especially during that time. Someone says speak slowly. Man, I'm sorry, I get excited about things and I speak. This is how I speak. I'm sorry. Anyways, I really appreciated Sam going out after Tiff and, like, helping calm her down from her nervous breakdown. That was really sweet, and I feel bad. Next case, caso cerrado. Mal and Yoli. I'm going to talk about Mal and Yoli and Xander and Vanessa at the same time, actually, because I think it's a kind of interesting parallel. This is so fun for me. By the way, I know that I have the lowest count of people watching right now, but I don't give a fuck. I'm having a great time. I can be a content creator for this as fuck. Like, give me queer reality TV shows to watch, and I will literally break them down, bitch. I got you. So, Mal and Yoli. First of all, I love Mal. Mal is so pretty, first of all. But second of all, is such a dope human. Like the way that they were able to communicate, the way that they held space for Lexi when they were going through what they went through with Ray, the way that they made space for how Yoli felt. Even though in the reunion, I found out that Yoli wasn't even all the way honest with Mal. See, I had nothing. Listen, my issue with Yoli, it really came up. No, I felt the type of way about that to begin with, because how the fuck are you giving me the ultimatum? You want me to marry you. You bring me to this reality TV show, put cameras in my face, and you're like, all right, I need to go to this reality TV show to see if you even really give a fuck enough to marry me, right? That's your choice. You're like, and then you get there. You get paired with another bitch. And then you fall in love. Like it's motherfucking 1965, and like you just are 52 maybe, like that, like I don't know, like you felt like what? I understood that they had their values were on the same page. They wanted things fast. They wanted a house. They wanted this, that, kids, the other. Mal always wanted that too. Mal literally never ever said that she wasn't down to get married or to build a life. Mal was just intuitive as fuck and was like, she literally said that she was like, I'm scared of how quickly Yoli runs into shit with people, okay, and how she's able to just kind of like fall in love with whoever, and maybe I'm another one of those people in the line of people she's just kind of falling in love with. And I don't know, and I would love to marry this person, but I don't know yet. So I still want some time to figure that out, and I'm not ready right now. But I think they were together for like 3 years. I think they were together for 3 years. Because I know Xander and Vanessa were together for 4. But her and Mal and Yoli were together, I think 3 years. I'm not positive. But they were together long enough, damn it. They were together long enough to where you know my family. You know my friends. You know all of we've been together for years. You come on this reality TV show. And you fall in love with another bitch in front of cameras. And then at the end, you want me to marry you? Bitch. Fuck that. Because that was another thing with like Xander and Vanessa, right? So Vanessa and Ray, when they were together, they had a little sexual moment. But honestly, it was so innocent and it was so not like that. And then... for Lexi. Lexi was in love, I get it. Lexi was just like, bitch, what the fuck? How the fuck? Because Lexi gave Ray the ultimatum. But Xander gave Vanessa the ultimatum, right? And Xander wanted to get married. And Xander was paired with Yoli. So Xander and Yoli were doing this shit. I'm going to talk about Vanessa in a second too. But Xander and Yoli were paired, fall in love. And here's the thing where I'm with Mal to 100%, right? This is another reason why I fuck with Mal. Because Mal was like, I'm not even mad that you fell in love with somebody. I actually think it's cute. Talk about motherfucking patience. Talk about fucking empathy. Talk about being a partner to the ends of the earth. Like, literally still proposed to Yoli regardless and was like, I'm sorry, I'm like talking to y'all like I'm talking to my friends. Well, I am talking to my friends. You guys are my friends. You're my internet friends about this right now because this is important to me and somebody needs to hear about it. So, where was I? Oh, so Mal literally still proposes to this girl, knowing that she is in love with Xander, because Yoli was honest about being in love with Xander, but Yoli wasn't honest about details. And this is where I had to withdraw my support card. Withdraw. Because I was like, Yoli, why would you lie to Mal when Mal has this capacity to understand you that is so rare in a partner? You're gonna compromise that kind of connection, that kind of empathy, that kind of presence, that kind of love. It was steady, sure, Like, listen, like, I might not be ready to get married, but I am ready to figure it out, and I am ready to hold space for you falling in love with someone else, and I am ready. It's just like, it's so performative of Yoli to be like, if you can't give me marriage, we're done, when like the person showing up like a married partner to me was Mal. Like, in terms of how they held space for the process, and Yoli needing this process to figure out whatever they needed to figure out, even though Yoli was the one who put up the fucking, Yoli was the one who made the ultimatum. Like, you wanted to marry Mal. Like, Mal was chilling. Like, I low-key even feel like the way that everything was communicated, they could have even explored polyamory and it would have been probably chill. To be honest, they probably still would have been primary partners, and like Xander and Yoli would have probably been like side pieces to each other, you know? Or, excuse me, that's not how polyamory works. They're not side pieces. They're secondary partners, or whatever it is that they agreed to. Because it's all about agreements, people. Who feels comfortable and consensually can handle whatever is agreed upon between the parties involved is what it is. And the issue, too, was Xander gave Vanessa the ultimatum. And Vanessa, I think, I don't know, having been on a reality TV show, I felt like they played Vanessa because they needed a villain, and she was the one that they wanted to make the villain. Like, that's what is good. Am I the villain? Yeah, like, Vanessa, like, you're the villain. And she really wasn't that bad of a villain to me. Yoli was way more of a villain to me than Vanessa was. Because Vanessa didn't even fuck with Ray like that. And they knew that. Like, both Ray and Vanessa knew. Like, they were like, listen, if we're going to be here to do this, like, let's just have fun and, like, be friends and, like, have a good time. And literally that's what they did. Vanessa didn't do shit besides that. In the beginning, was she overly eager to, like, get to know new people? Yes, that was true. But she also communicated that was kind of how she was feeling. Like, she didn't really want to be with Xander, you know what I mean? So, or she did want to be with Xander, but she wasn't sure about lifetime, you know? Which is valid. Like, people are young and people are exploring and people don't know. They just don't know if they want a full lifetime of something yet. And the experience definitely jolted her and helped her grow a lot. So I think that that's valid, and I think we gotta acknowledge that shit when it happens. So I don't have no beef with Vanessa. And I actually feel like Vanessa and Xander communicated so much more respect for each other than, like, I felt like Vanessa had more respect for Xander than Yoli had for Mal in terms of the way that they moved. And Xander was a flip-flop as fuck. Xander just be falling in love with everybody and was just like, I really like Yoli. Like, totally gave up a 4-year relationship for Yoli, who said yes to Mal's proposal after having lied to Mal about the intimacy and the level of intimacy that she was engaging with Xander. So the mess. Messy. I think I got everybody, right? Did I miss anybody? Lexi and Ray. I didn't really miss them. They broke up, so I don't really have any opinions anymore. Because my opinion on them was that it was kind of cute that Ray kind of was able to grow as much as she was able to during that time, and then, you know, be able to give Lexi what Lexi wanted. But I feel like Lexi wants what Lexi wants, so I don't know. I think that's valid too. You know, I love a girl who knows what she wants. You know. I don't know. Someone said Mal and Lexi were meant to be together in another life. I don't know. I feel like they make good friends, but I don't know if they were meant to be romantically with each other. I didn't feel chemistry between them like that, to be honest. The chemistry between Yoli and Xander obviously was palpable. Like, that was valid. But it was obviously lust, too, because there was no foundation. You can't fall in love with somebody in 3 weeks. Like, you can admire somebody. You can think somebody's really amazing. You can get infatuated with somebody. You can... all kinds of things can happen, but... fall in love to leave somebody that you've been with for 4 years that you knew you wanted to marry before you even came on this thing? Nah. Stop playing. Stop playing with your own emotions. All these emotions, waves of emotions, go through the motions and drown in the ocean. Some of these girls probably could actually benefit from listening to my music. Fun fact. So, Go ahead and do that. It probably feels so weird for them to have their life commented on like this though, so I'm sorry y'all, but I was intrigued. I had a good time. I had a good time watching that show. I hope that it happens again. I hope there's a season 2. I hope I get to meet more little queers who try to figure out love. Because I also think that there was a beautiful, like, respectful process to the reunion, besides Mildred dogging Tiff the fuck out. Like, I think, like, that was on some, like, okay, Real Housewives type reunion shit. But, no, but the other, I felt like it was really, like, a masterclass on queer connection and love for, like, women who love women, and I thought that was really cute. So thanks for that content. I think we could probably tweak out some stuff though. Like, I'm sure that they will though. This was the first season, so they'll tweak the way that they do some stuff for sure. That was an experiment. And I applaud those women for like choosing to do that, because that was some shit to have to put your business out there like that. That was a lot of business out there. But anyways, who's coming to see me Saturday? Anybody coming to see me Saturday? Is anybody? Also, if you like when I talk about shit, because I know I started this whole thing with like excuse me, political speech. If you like to hear me talk about stuff like that, I have a podcast. It's called Attunement, and it is currently living on my LimeWire profile. You just have to go do that and subscribe if you would like to access that. And yeah, I also have a project out. It's called In Between. So you should listen to that. Summer vibes, bitch. Summer vibes. How do we... I want to play some of the songs, but I don't know. I don't know why the YouTube isn't working. Hold on. Give me 1 moment, please. Yeah, hold on. I'm not gonna undo that. I'll be right back.